It's going down, folks. I'm telling you, one of the greatest matches of all time between two of the modern day GOATs. We're talking Adele Fornarino versus Ffion Davies. It's going down. And we have the secret sauce behind Adele Fornarino's legendary strength. And that's the thing. She's tiny but mighty. And people always talk about, man, she's so strong. Why is she so strong? Because she's been training Bulletproof, folks. And this is the secret reveal. We are actually going to be sharing Adele Fornarino's S&C program, and you can get it.
Yeah.
There it is. So, I mean, I'm excited
Pumped.
for the match because it's, UFC Fight Pass. They've taken the format from CJI with the 5x5 minute rounds.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, so it's a longer match.
Yep.
But obviously, if there's a submission, there's a submission. And I believe that Adele is going to submit Ffion Davies.
5x5, that's nice.
It's a bigger match. And I don't know if they've also stolen the scoring. That wasn't clear in the post.
Right.
Which is a cool thing about CJI. But I have such faith in Adele's attackingness. But the thing that when I talk to people who train with her, because she's actually a very nice, friendly person, but then you roll her and she's trying to break your shit. She's trying to get on your limbs and break them. She's got that vicious intent. It's what makes a champion.
It's her job.
You believe it. But yeah, I'm very.
Have you rolled with her?
I haven't rolled with her recently.
Right.
Many moons ago, but I hope to get a chance soon. She was rolling Shark Tank rounds before the Giles trials, so I was watching her train. But what was kind of funny about that was she had 5 ladies Shark Tanking her, including Livia Giles, shout out, and they were getting tired. And she wasn't getting tired.
Sort of often the way, isn't it?
She would just kept just working everyone, and everyone's like, oh my God, won't she get tired soon? And she's got an incredible gas tank as well as being super strong.
What has she put on weight for this fight?
A little bit. Yeah. It is slightly heavier than
because Ffion typically is a much heavier competitor.
Ffion will have to cut for this. And you look at photos of Ffion when she's training at Los Benditos, she's not looking smaller.
No,
she's looking more hench.
Yeah.
So, but that said, I think that the whole thing in jiu-jitsu and humans too, we look at something like, oh, they're big, they must be strong. It's not necessarily the case. And I think that Adele epitomizes this idea that she's just small, lean, fit-looking human, but extraordinarily strong. And that's because, folks, I've been putting her through her paces. This is the secret sauce.
Tell us about the program, bruh.
So,
what you had her doing?
I contacted Adele, it's probably a bit over 2 years ago, actually. And I had noticed that she was kind of doing a bit of training in the gym, but it didn't seem very structured. And I called her. I said, man, I messaged her and I called her and I said, have you got an S&C coach? She's like, at the moment, I do not. I said, let me help you with that. we got something for you. So I've been writing her a custom program for the last 2 years, which no one has really seen. She posts about her training every now and again. But yeah, just staying up with her and then trying to help her if she's got any injuries or anything like that. But essentially, so much of what Adele's game is her ability to grab hold of you and not let go and break the thing. And more recently, it's been adding more dynamic elements, like power elements, jumping elements. Like she had asked me, can you give me something that's going to make me faster and more explosive? And so we've factored that in as a training day, and she loves that. So we've got it structured there. It's a 3-day program, and it does feature slightly different elements on different days in terms of one day is more dynamic, one day is heavier, and one day is a little bit more oriented towards building a bit of muscle in certain areas. And man, she's just been looking jacked.
She looks in amazing shape.
Every photo you see her, she's just even if she's just coaching, she's banging her arm on the barrier. Jesus, look at those biceptors, so good. And she loves it, man. There's some very funny but cool bro elements about Adele. She just loves to be the daddy,
Yeah.
And I think the thing that a lot of people don't appreciate is how hard she does work, not just on the mat, but in the gym, doing her mobility, doing all the recovery. She does everything right.
Yeah.
So she's an amazing example of what needs to happen. And she's also humble enough to ask questions like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? She doesn't just think, oh, I know better, which is very impressive about her.
Yeah, she's a really, really good role model for an elite athlete.
Yeah.
And what it takes to be professional in this game.
And I had always thought she's going to be a black belt world champion. I had always thought that, and I thought one day she'll probably win the ADCC as a lightweight woman. I had no idea that she would be able to become an absolute champion.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
In
really
the same year.
Yeah, on the same tournament.
Yeah.
Like it's quite wild to think that she's the lightest athlete to ever win the absolute.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible.
It's incredible. And so
Did she win the final by submission?
no, she had Bia Mosquito in a triangle, like an offside
Yeah.
triangle.
Yeah.
And she just camped out. Like she was trying to get stuff going, but
Bea was just
Bea just-
keeping her away the whole time, huh?
well, no, because she actually swept to an armbar. She fought out of the armbar and put her into a triangle, kind of like an offside triangle.
Right, yeah.
And then she just camped down. She just stalled there.
Yeah, right.
And she, and so even though you could see that Adele was working quite hard to try and open her arm up and push, it ended that she actually won because Bea got penalized, I think 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So they stood him up and the referee actually got a little bit confused, oh, is it a draw? It's no, actually Bea loses because she did nothing. She didn't try and escape. She just was too scared to
Yeah.
get brutally submitted.
Yeah. Funny
So-
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I'm happy. I'll rather take the loss
And
rather than having a chance.
I don't
of
wanna
getting
get
subbed.
highlight reeled.
I'll just take a
Because how
on
many
points loss kind of thing. I mean, not even throwing shade because
No.
I don't compete at that level, but
No.
but it is funny what happens to the for everyone watching. You're like, man, just
do something.
last ditch, just go for it.
Do something.
We say that when we're watching UFC too, right? Where you're like, just go for it, man. You're losing,
Yeah.
but it's going into a submission or a knockout, that's f***ing scary, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also if you know that you can't get out,
Yeah,
you're like, wow. Because how many highlights is there of Adele doing the mirror lock and just
yeah.
bending
Celery sticks.
yeah, just Bea Basilico's arm inside out. Pretty sure that Bea Mosquito was like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get highlight reeled
Can't
right
be
here.
the second Bea to break an arm today.
No. But full respect to both those champions. But Adele just did come through and do serious damage.
So tell me the program. You mentioned it's 3 days a week.
It's 3 days. It's bigger than our normal programs because it's slightly longer. So you're looking at more an hour's worth of training.
Yeah.
It is a bit
Solid hour.
bit more demanding.
Such is the case when you're training at a higher level.
High level. But if you're someone who is looking to take your training up a notch, I mean, obviously it's good to have a base level, but what we wanted to do with this is for people to also appreciate the kind of work she has to do. So I talked with her about it and if she was happy to share that. So this is the program she was following up into her lead into her double gold at the ADCC.
Right on.
Also with that, when you buy the program, a good percentage of that money goes to Adele. So by buying the program, you are also supporting the athlete.
Yeah.
And this is where it's different. I think the biggest challenge for most athletes is they're trying to sustain their careers.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do with this is make sure that she gets a good chunk of it so that, it rewards her for all the hard work she's put in.
Absolutely.
But I think where this is different to some of the other programming, because when I work with any athlete, and I'm sure you're the same, Joe, you do it more specifically for the individual.
Yeah.
It's not that we ever have a one size fits all, but we have some standards that we like people to try and get with, especially if they haven't trained a lot before. But when you've got a really trained individual, you've got to make it suit them.
Yeah.
So for Adele, there's a lot of core and upper body strength as much as there is hip, knee, lower body work, because that's super important to her. And yeah, on the day which is a bit more explosive, a bit more power oriented, it's a bit shorter. So it's a bit more intense, but it's kind of slightly less long session for greater intensity.
Yeah, right. Requires more effort in the moment.
In the moment. And so, yeah, I think it's something that I would like to bring more to the fore, because I think that for the most part, when you see a great athlete, you have no idea what they're doing behind closed doors.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mystery. And so this puts that out there, and it also means that you can kind of train alongside Adele in that way too.
That's fun.
Yeah, man.
Tell me, would it be suitable for beginners, or is it more of a sort of
No, you could definitely
moderately experienced?
I generally promote this to someone who's already done a little bit of weight training before, but anyone can do this program. Just know it's not easy. You work to your appropriate level, right? The deadlifts you do at the weight that's suitable for you. But for example, there's like a single arm deadlift in there. Like that's
it's a really tough lift.
It's really hard
if you've not really done deadlifting before.
Yeah, there's pause squats in there.
Yeah.
Like there's a 6-second pause in there.
Wow.
That's a long time to be hanging out in the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, if you've never done squats before, like it's going to be a bit of a rude shock. So it doesn't mean you can't do it, but just know that as the program progresses, it does get a fair bit harder.
Yeah.
So you just got to know it's going to take a little bit longer. It'll push you, but I think people are going to get a lot out of it.
I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be fun times.
I'd love to get some single arm deads and
some slightly more demanding shit. It was just
to have some structure, you know, like I've around with a bit of that, but to have structure around it, you know, and programmed phases, and it's exciting. Yeah,
so that will come out basically this week. When you guys are seeing this episode, you'll be able to click the link below. It'll be in the pinned comments, and you can get Adele's program.
Yeah, which I guess it brings us to another thing, which is that like with all of our programs that we currently have, for those who are currently subscribed to the Bulletproof app or have been subscribed in the past, you know, there's a bunch of programs in there, right, that you can choose from. This program is not part of that subscription.
No.
This is a standalone program. It is a special item. It's, you know, for obvious reasons. And so it's not available through subscription. It's a one-off purchase.
Yes.
And to that point, we will be releasing a whole bunch of our other programs also as one-off purchases, which is something we've wanted to do for years.
Yep.
It's just been one of those kind of things that's been pushed to the bottom of the list because there's been more pressing things.
Yeah.
But for people who are like, yo, I want to train with you guys, but I don't want to have another subscription, by the time you're hearing this, you'll be able to, we probably won't have all of our programs available.
Not immediately.
But a good chunk of them, and you can just get them through the website on our store. You just go to the store and the program lives there.
Yep.
And the cool part is that you can purchase it, one-off fee, and then you can access it via the app, and you can train the whole shit, and it's great.
Yeah, and so you get this is the benefit, I feel, you get the benefit of the app. So you can still log your jiu-jitsu. You can still, you know, log your strength, log your mobility. Like you still get all the function of the app, but you just have the exclusive access to that program. And yeah, man, I think this is a real unlock because I've had plenty of people say to me, hey, I just want to do the kettlebell program.
Yeah.
You will be able to, in the coming weeks, be able to just purchase the kettlebell program.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have another subscription. So I think for some people out there, that really suits them. And what you're going to see more as the Bulletproof for BJJ athlete family grows, that you'll be able to get some really cool behind-the-scenes insight into how some of these top international competitors train, and you can follow along with their training.
Yeah, I mean, without revealing names, you've got a couple other athletes programs that will also be available soon, right?
That will be available soon. And so if you want to know what's helping them be so savage and so strong and so fit, that'll be available. And there's also an upcoming collaboration, which is, I can't say too much yet because it's in the works. Yeah. But you got to get excited for it because it, provided all things go according to plan, you're going to be connected with the All-Star cast.
Oosh.
Yeah.
To that point, while we're spilling the beans, we've got a version 2.0 of standards.
Nice.
Which will be coming soon. I've been working on this actually for some time, but and again, it's just been something that I haven't made the time to actually
execute,
get it out there.
Yeah.
And so now it's happening. And also a 2.0 for our Mobility Foundation program.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for that.
As well as some extra mobility programs. So there's a bunch of new shit coming, like over the next couple of months.
Yeah, so this is great. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't necessarily realize. If you've seen the app in the App Store and you've thought, I'm not sure. This is a really good way for you to be able to experience what the app is, and we are updating it. That's the thing. We update the programs, we're updating the technology, we're constantly doing bug fixes, and we're about to take a huge jump up in terms of how people train and have a good experience with that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I'm like, we haven't added a lot of new programming over the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why is that? And I was like, because we've been dealing with this app for the last 2 years. Like we built an app and then we were like fixing problems, and that was really everything over the last couple of years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, so good that is largely not an issue now.
Yes.
There's always things, but it is pretty much smooth sailing.
Yeah.
So like, oh, cool, we can focus on like bringing some new shit to the people.
You know, when you see, I don't know if you see this, Joe, you might, I guess like handyman fail clips where like they've got a PowerPoint in the shower. You know, like they're kind of like meme photos.
Yeah.
Where it's just got like the hand dryer next to the toilet. You know, stuff like that. You're like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And I think we've had a few moments like that, like, you know, and we really appreciate the love and understanding of anyone who knows that we are some bros, and we wanted to make an app, and really we don't have a technical background, so we've had to kind of fail forward, and as we take your feedback and as we improve, we keep trying to make it better, and we're at a really good point now where we have an awesome team, and we are investing heavily in making the app better and better. And there's going to be a ton of exciting shit happening between kind of June and December of this year, end of this year, which will see the app just step up leaps and bounds in terms of how it works, as well as the program. So there it is, folks.
Yeah, if you want to, there's a link for the Adele program. But if you're hearing this and you want to know where you can purchase those individual programs, you go to our website, bulletproofforbjj.com, go to the shop, and there they are.
Yeah, they'll be available.
Get on board.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.